Hello, welcome back. Steve's Retirement Corner. Developing the just roll with it mentality in retirement. Hey man, I had a heck of a weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. Not so much from what I'd done, but from what I learned and discovered. And it's because of this right here. There's a viewer on here that at the last of their comment on that last video, he said he would just, if it didn't work out or if things changed on him, he would just roll with it. David Atkinson, that's his name. I appreciate it, boss. He sent my mind to fire thinking about things. Unreal. I've been hemming and hawing at that, bouncing around it, speaking about it, and never actually coming up with why retirement is so good. And this is all part of it for me. He described me to a T. I remember when my daughter, her firstborn, was born. I had changed jobs. I went from warehouse to the string factory. I hadn't started my new insurance over yonder. I was still on Cobra with the warehouse. And I had to go down to the insurance office to sign paperwork or some bull. And they called me and told me it was by a certain date. So I went down there on that date to sign up, and I sat down, and the lady says, "Well, I told you that you had to be here before this date." I said, "Well, I heard today." So I got up to walk out. And she said, "Stephen," she said, "sit back down here." So I was just messing with you. Hey man, I was just going to go with it. I screwed up. I figured, heck, I might as well have to roll with it. You know what I mean? I'd figure out a way from there forward. That's where I've always been. And I think that has helped me tremendously in my transition and my enjoyment of being retired. I got to thinking that the key to this whole retirement thing for me was being flexible. Never losing that flexible mindset. If you think about it, it works for everything. You build a little bit of flex into your finances so you can withstand when them bad months or an emergency comes up, or you have to spend more that month. You don't just go out there and say, "Hey, I need $2,000 to retire. I'm gonna have $2,000 in income." That flexibility helps a whole lot. It's tremendous. And it's the same way for my daggone 4-hour time block stuff. Hey man, I can change any of them 4 blocks, switch them around. I can put them in any different direction I want them. I can do the third one first and the first one last, or whatever. It gives me a guideline for a little bit of structure. It gives me something to fall back on. But ain't nothing about retirement wrote in stone. Your finances, your expenses, your insurance. I can change my insurance today if I want to. It meant a lot to me. I got that from them words. I'll just roll with it. The guy's a professional retiree, and I just rang the bell for him. He's got his stuff together. I think that is key. Is to keep that flexibility into your retirement, and it helps me. It's like today's Tuesday. I just come from a little lady around the corner over here. That's totally flexible. It's not like I got to be over there on Tuesday. I can switch it. I can take a vacation for the whole month if I want to. If she needs me, she can call me on a Wednesday or a Thursday. I'll get over there for something. If something goes wrong and she needs a hand with something. I try to keep my little ladies on a tight schedule at Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So they have something they can rely on. They know that, every week on that day I'm there if they had something that messed up during the week and they wanted some help. But this past month, I ain't had to do a darn thing. I was over there for 2 hours a day just talking to her. She's the only one that's not a widow. I was over there for 2 hours a day just talking to them. Had me a glass of tea. She gives me tea over there too. They're a joy to talk to. They really are. But the flexibility is what makes everything possible. I talk about your free time. I talk about doing your hobbies. You know, I talk about a lot of mess. But that flexibility is what makes all that possible. You know, I ain't got enough time today to finish doing any work. Hey man, I'll finish it tomorrow, or next week, or next month. You know, the no time crunch from work is due to that flexibility. You know, I can go to the store, you know, at 11 o'clock this morning. I could have went, and there's virtually nobody in there. I can get in and get out. Not having a job allows you to have that flexibility on your time, and that is the gift of retirement for me. That's exactly what I was looking for. I mean, it just is. That's pure joy to me. That flexibility is what it is. It allows all that other stuff to happen for me. And that's why I'm having such a good retirement, I believe. That's why I had an easy transition. That's why, you know, having a day that is, there's nothing planned or nothing to do is not that bad on me. You got to have flexibility all through life. But sometimes trying to fit that flexibility into your busy day is almost impossible. I mean, it just ruins your whole routine. You know, your whole, you know, because everything while you're working is timed. And when you ain't working, you don't have that time, and it allows you a lot of flexibility. Flexibility means you got options, and everybody feels better with options. You're not stuck to anything. That's the beauty of it. That's the pure gift of retirement to me. I tell you what, I got another comment on there too, from Ann Mitt. Just retired in October of 22. Said that felt like for 35 years she was running a non-stop marathon. And now she's been able to, oh heck, I think she said she dedicated this first year to getting healthy. And she's happy. I mean, with daggone comments and emails coming in all the time like that, a man just can't, there's just no way he cannot be happy and then be enjoying life as it is. I mean, and I get loaded down with them. This past thing, I mean, hey, I ain't no full-time YouTuber getting thousands of views and stuff. But I get a handful of comments and emails, and I get this stuff in there all the time. I mean, I swear I get way more out of this channel than anybody will ever get off of anything I say. It was the best decision I ever made for retirement. I mean, but for the past 2 days, I ain't been none. My mind's just been on fire, thinking of stuff, whirling. I mean, that was a great comment. By the way, while I got you on here, and the video's about ready to wind down, I just want to say, hey man, I appreciate everybody that has subscribed. Anybody that ever watches, comments, or sends an email. This channel's turned into way more than I ever figured. It was just a hobby for me, something I could look back on. I didn't never figure anybody from England. I got a fellow on here commented this on that last video that he's from Derby, the UK. I mean, I get them from all over, and it just tickles the snot out of me. But just saying, hey, I appreciate it and stuff is not really indicative of how I feel about it. But it's the best you can do with words. But yeah, I mean, it helped me figure, come to the realization of why I'm the way I am in retirement. You know, and why I slowed down, like Ann was talking about. You know, I'm doing the same thing now, and then you add in another full-time job on top of it. Ain't no wonder I was so stressed, and so busy, so tired all the time. I haven't took hardly any naps at all since I've been retired. I ain't been tired. I haven't been bone tired but one time in the past 8 months since I've been retired. And I mean bone tired, where you can't hardly drag yourself out the chair to go to bed. I used to be that way a whole lot when I was working. And that's why I said that, my life was busy. And I cut out work because it was getting in the way of the rest of my life. And that's what I did. But I sure do appreciate it for all of y'all. And that was just 2 simple comments. Hey man, I get stuff like that all the time from retirees and from people right there at the edge getting ready to retire. They summarize an 8, 9, 10-minute video of me in 1 sentence. And it describes me to a T. So, but yeah, I think if you can build flexibility into your plan, be flexible in the way you handle things, and develop that daggone I'll just roll with it attitude, it'll be a tremendous help to people in their retirement. Now that's coming from me, Doc, so you take it for what it's worth. But y'all take care. Y'all make it a good week best you can, and we'll talk to y'all later.